Hey everybody, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dakota Mays, and today my video that I got for you is all about wrist mobility. So if you're doing your chaturangas or push-ups and you're feeling some pain in your wrist and you just don't have the mobility for it to really get into that crease of the wrist, this video is just for you. So we're gonna start off today just in a seated position, super chill. And what we're gonna do is bring some activation to our hands that you might not have done before. So go ahead and shake them out and bring your hands out in front of you. And I want you to widen out your hands and your fingers as wide as you can. What we're gonna do is close the fist, squeeze nice and tight, and then inhale, open wide. Exhale, close and squeeze in. So inhale, open wide, really extend, reach the fingertips away from one another. Exhale, close. Let's do a couple more of those. Inhaling, you should feel some warmth. Exhaling, close. Last one, inhale wide as you can. Exhale, close, awesome. So let's inhale, open them back up, and we're gonna do some wrist circles here. So while you keep the activation in the hands and the fingers, we're gonna do some circles both directions. And you should feel already, just maybe you're using some muscles and some tendons that you just don't normally use. That's the whole goal of this. So now let's close the fists back up and let's roll them out. So keep that fist closed. So you're squeezing in and you're just using muscles and tendons that you don't normally use, and you're working your body through its range of motion when it's active. So that's what this is all about. So get a couple more circles both directions. Now you're starting to feel it. Awesome, shake it on out. Let me tighten up my wristband. Shake it on out. So you'll get warm doing this. What I would recommend is that you start taking these movements that we do today and you start doing them actively, because most of the time when we're going through wrist pain, it's because we're going through a motion that's passive and it's just jamming our wrists in a place that it doesn't want to be, or it's not used to being active in that position. So once we shake it all out, hands back in front, we're going to flick our fingers. So curl in your fingers and your thumb, flick. We're going to do about 25 of these. If you want to, you can bring this above the head. Same thing, just letting blood come down a little bit. They get hard after a while. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Now we're going to clap. A little clap in the hands, trying to make a little clap noise with your fingers, pulling into the palms. And we're going to slowly start to speed it up. And speed it up. These get really tough really quickly. Awesome. Shake it out. We're going to do one more round of both of those. So starting with flicking, let's do 25, there's 10, breathe through, there's another 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, awesome, shake it out and clap. Let's bring it over the hands, over the head this time. So try to get that clap noise so you're really pulling in your fingers fast. Nice little flexion, the hands, go as fast as you can, open fist, closed fist, and shake it out. Those get tough. But now you're warm, so that's what we want. So go ahead and come into your tabletop position. So maybe in this position, you start to feel like, you're already at a 90-degree angle. This might even hurt right away. If so, just back it off a little bit. So what we're gonna do is, like I said at the beginning, we're gonna bring activation through these movements. So right now, I want you to press through the middle knuckles and the fingertips. So I want your fingertips to be white and your knuckles to be pressed firmly against the ground. We're just gonna lean forward until you find your 80% range, and then lean back. So all we're going to do is go front to back at first, but we're pressing through the hands the entire time. So you will feel your muscles in your wrists around here engage as you press the middle knuckles down. And as you press the fingertips down, that's just activation through the hands, not really the wrist and forearm. So let's do a couple more of these, maybe inhaling as you lean forward, exhale as you lean back. Awesome, last one, and we're gonna hold it at the top. So again, we're pressing through the knuckles, pressing through the fingertips. You should feel warmth here already, and this is what we want. So go ahead and push yourself back. Awesome, staying even. Shoulders over the hands, and let's point the fingertips to the outside now. And we're just gonna go side to side, same thing we just did before, pressing through the knuckles and fingertips, but now we're going sideways. So you just stop where you feel the stretch, your 70% range, and then you press yourself back. So once I'm on the right side, it's almost like my right hand's pressing me back to the middle. As I go to the left, my left hand's pressing me back to the right. So let's do a couple more of these, both sides. And maybe you bring your hands closer towards one another if you really want a deeper stretch. For those of you who have a little bit deeper mobility, I know my wrists aren't the most mobile. They're getting there, we're practicing. That's all that matters, right? So let's go side to side one more time. And you should start to feel, a little fatigue in the wrist if you're really pressing through. Awesome. Shake it out one at a time. We're going to point the fingers towards us now. So the fingers are pointing towards our knees. Take your time to get into position. And I like to widen out my hands to where my thumbs are on the outside of my mat, to where my chest stays open. And right here, you might already be feeling an intense stretch. I know I am. But if you need more, just lean back barely. Again, pressing through the knuckles and fingertips. And shoot yourself up to the front. So exhale, lean back. Inhale, press yourself back up to the front. Let's do a few more. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, last one. Exhaling. Inhale, come back to the front. Shake it out. Go ahead and sit back on your heels. Give a little roll, So right now, if you don't do these very often, you should be feeling a little pump in your forearm, a little Popeye pump. That's what we want. So now we're going to flip the grip. So we're going to bring the back sides of our hands on the ground. So what I normally do is I just sit on my ankles to where most of my weight is off my hands. And my hands are nice and close to my knees. The back sides of the hands on the ground. And what we're going to do is open up the eyes and the elbows to the front of the room. Widen out the fingers and press through the backs of the hands now. So now you're pressing through the back of the hand to where you feel some engagement here where your extensor muscles are in your forearm. That's what we want. So once you feel that, maybe you can lean back a little bit. This is my range of motion. This is where I stop. You might be worse than me. You might be going deeper. Wherever you are, I want you to bring activation, pressing down through the back sides of the hand. If you want to do small movements, maybe you rock up slightly and rock back. But again, as you rock, I want you to feel like you're rocking from your hands pushing you and pulling you. I know it's my hips sending myself front and back right now, but still, just imagine your hands are pressing you forward and back. Let's do a couple more of these. And again, if your wrists are more mobile than mine, you'll have your wrists out in front like so, in regular tabletop. That's just a bit intense for me. Let's do one last one. Awesome. Slowly sit back, roll it out. So that would be probably a stretch that I see most people ignore the most. A lot of stretching this way, but not too much stretching this way. So just balance it out, find that happy middle for you. And we'll be good. So next we're going to come into our down dog. Just pause here, maybe shake it out a little bit. Just give some focus on something else. And I want you to feel if this down dog feels any different now. So usually you might be ignoring pressing through your middle knuckles in down dog. But right here, I want you to press through the knuckles and the fingertips. Feel all parts of the hands nice and grounded. Pressing through the spine, lifting the hips up and back. So from here, we're going to inhale, roll into a plank pose. So find your plank pose. Your hands are nice and under your shoulders. We're going to do the same thing we were doing in tabletop, but from plank. So we're really going to get active now. So let's inhale, rock forward, press through those knuckles and fingertips. Once you find your 70% range, press yourself back. Let's do 5 of those. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last 2. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, maybe hold, breathing out. Awesome, send it back. Rotate the hands outside. Fingers are pointing to the outer edges of the mat. We're gonna go side to side, just small rocks. You don't rock too much to the side, but just enough to where you feel the press through the hands. Both sides, 2 more times. You feel your hands pressing you back to that midline. That's the main thing I want you to feel here. Awesome. Now rotate the fingers towards you. The deepest stretch. And here, we're just gonna hold. So hold in here for 5, press through the knuckles, press through the fingertips. You're gonna hear me say that more and more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Drop the knees down. Bring your hands up, shake it out. How are we feeling? I know I'm working up a little sweat. So some things that you just don't want to ignore. So sit up, go ahead and roll them out both ways. We're gonna do last little bit of engagement here, just to work through the area that we don't usually work. So bring your arms out in front, widen your fingers as wide as you can again. Close fists, open fists, close fists, open fists, and let's start to speed it up. Closing, opening, and go as fast as you can. As fast as you can. It feels weird. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Whew. Makes you work some things you didn't know you had, huh? Awesome, now we got finger flicks. So finger flicks, last set of these. Nice and easy, just to work the extensor muscles a little bit that we always ignore. We're always pushing with our hands, but we're not really pulling, extending. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Now our hands out in front of us, just like so. Let's pull them back to us, and then down. Back, down, back, down. Do about 10 more of these. You can speed it up just a little bit. This just gives you that active range of motion. So now you don't have the floor to pull yourself back, but only your muscles to pull your hands back. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Whew, we're feeling it now. Now let's go one last one. We got rotate our arms to where our thumbs are pointing the ceiling, like so. Let's go in, out, in, out. We got 8 more. We got to speed it up a little bit. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Shake it out. And we're going to end today with a little bit of waves. So bring your hands out in front of you, last one. Do some waves. You can bring them above you if you want. Pick a way, do waves, and then switch directions. Do waves the other way. So it gets you really feeling it. Feeling into your fingertips. Feeling the mobility and connection all the way through the hands to the fingertips. And shake it out. Wonderful. So that's a little routine. I do a lot of those very often, and most of those before I do my handstand training or arm balance training. But just do what works with you and stay within your 78% range. No need for injuries, no need to overdo anything. We don't want that, because then you can't be on your mat as much as you want to be. So I hope this helps, and until next time, namaste. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I just want you all to know that I'm now offering retreats. So my next retreat is in October 12th to 16th, 2022 in Sayulita, Mexico. But if you can't make that one, or it just doesn't work for your schedule, there's plenty more to be planned. So definitely check out my links to get more information on that.